Hello. I have not been live for a little bit. Life has been crazy, good, busy. I have not had the time that I imagined that I would have when I left for my summer trip with my son. I thought I would be going like I would have not hi TikTok. Oh my gosh, a lot of people are here on TikTok. I really thought that I would be on a lot more than I have been. So I apologize that I haven't been available. I do try to make an effort to go live as much as possible. But yeah, that hasn't been happening. Anyway, I'm here now and I wanted to come on and talk about the fact that I have a hoovering workshop coming up. It's just around the corner. Um, I wanted to give myself more time to sort of prep you guys and let you know that I have this workshop coming up, but life got away from me. And it's actually next week. I believe it's a week from today. No, 2 weeks. We have 2 weeks still. We're good. We still have 2 weeks. But yes, the Hoovering Workshop is just around the corner. So I wanted to come on and talk to all of you, talk a little bit about hoovering without doing the whole entire workshop here right now, but just letting you know that I have this available, answering your questions. It doesn't just have to be about hoovering, but making y'all, letting y'all know who I am and, hopefully working through some stuff with you tonight while we hang out. My son is home right now as we are traveling together. I'm a single mom doing a solo vacation with him, so he may interrupt. But for the next little bit, I'm here and ready to hang out with all of you. TikTok, there's a lot of people in here right now, so please say hello, introduce yourself if you want to, ask me anything. As always with my lives, the people who are asking questions are the ones who are going to get my attention. So please do not hesitate. Pretty much nothing is off limits. But again, the topic of the night is hoovering, because that is what the workshop is going to be about. And by the way, I'm about to start showing like the marketing materials for it. Like I'm about to start being like, this is it. This is when, who, why, when, where, how, what. But I did choose to have the workshop on a Tuesday. And part of that is because a lot of y'all might still be living with your abusers. And if you're living with your abuser, you're not going to be able to come on a Saturday. You're not going to be able to come on a Sunday because a lot of times those abusers are still home. And so I wanted to make it during the week with the hope that you might be able to sneak away, have that little bit of time during your busy lives, and hopefully your abuser's not around during that time, and you're a little bit more hopefully able to sneak away on a Tuesday than you might be on a Saturday. So I hope that's helpful to people and that more people will be able to make it. But if not, hey, we'll try again later. I do plan on trying to host workshops more often. I think it's a great way to get people together, get that information out to more people than when I'm just doing my one-on-one coaching. And also it's another way for you all to get to work with me and get to know me more in case you do want to do coaching with me. So yeah, other than that, how is everybody? What are you feeling? What are you thinking? What are you struggling with? Hi, I'm a big fan. What has been your favorite workshop? This is my first workshop. I've been a part of panels for sort of workshop type things, but this is my first workshop that I've created and that I'm hosting. And again, it is about hoovering, which I wouldn't say I'm passionate about. Like there's certain things that come to abuse awareness that I am passionate about. That's like, abuse toward children, abuse, animals, children and animals being used as pawns. I'm passionate about it because I hate it so freaking much and it's horrible and I think it needs to be talked about. Reactive abuse and the myth of mutual abuse. These are some things that I feel very strongly about and talk about a lot. There's like one or two other things in there that I just get really passionate about when I talk about them, and I probably don't talk about them enough. But hoovering is a big one for me because I find it very fascinating. I find it very fascinating how abusive people use hoovering as a tool and how successful it is. Like it blows my mind how easy it can be for abusive people to hoover. How many different hoovering tactics there are. Like there's a massive variety of ways that you can be hoovered. All the different things that they can throw at you and the way that they can use multiple ones at once. It's kind of scary. It's kind of fascinating. It's also something that I feel like most of us are not armed with the information to be able to recognize hoovering for what it is and like the skills to be able to stop it in its tracks. And that's not our fault. We shouldn't have to know how to do that. But unfortunately, there are a lot of people out there. A lot of us have had these abusive partners or abusive family members, and we don't know what to do with hoovering. We might not recognize it for what it is, especially because, like I said, there's multiple kinds of hoovering. There's many different ways that hoovering can look. And it's really hard to manage that. So that is what the workshop is about. We're going to look at what I have come up with. I'm not the first person to probably ever think of this, but what I categorize as 3 different types of hoovering. I have done some podcast episodes about this, so you can also check those out. But I will give examples. We'll talk about them. We'll talk about what you know about hoovering. We'll talk about what I know about hoovering, and we'll hopefully leave the hoovering workshop feeling like we can actually combat this. Because again, it's very difficult to be able to spot a hoover. And I do have a lot of friends who, might be talking to someone who's maybe not abusive, but maybe not the best communicator. And they'll be asking me questions and they're like, why is this happening? I'm like, that's a hoover. That is a hoover. This person is trying to lure you into a conversation for whatever reason. And, here's what you can do with that if you want to take my advice. It can be hard with friends because, not everyone wants trauma recovery coach Lindsay. Some people just want a listening ear. And some are like, do you want me to trauma recovery coach or do you want me to listen? My ex uses my children a lot as like a weapon, but accuses me of doing it instead. Thank you for saying that. Yeah, a lot of abusive people will tell on themselves. They will do something but accuse you. So they'll cheat. They'll accuse you of cheating. They'll lie. They'll accuse you of lying. They very commonly tell on themselves and project because they know what they're doing. They very much know what they're doing, and it's a very easy thing to say, this is what you're doing. It's scary. It's weird. I don't know. I can't imagine doing that. Hi, my beautiful friend. I miss you. I miss you too. I know. I actually really thought that I would have a lot more time to be available and go live and create content and do all this stuff because on my last 2 trips with my son, I did. My first trip with my son, I was just freshly out of my abusive relationship and I was making a lot of content and I was going live and I was doing stories and I was processing my trauma. I was like, oh my gosh, I just remembered this. And I thought it was this and it was really this. And I was doing that live and I was very present on social media. And last summer, it was kind of in the middle where I think I was still creating a lot of abuse content and was still more present than online than I am this trip. This trip, I've been very present with the trip, with my son, with the places we are. I've been very, I just haven't been on my devices a lot. This is the first time that I've logged on my laptop for a couple of days and I was like, oh, so yes, thanks, Kat. That's okay. You're having fun and enjoying life. That's what matters. That 100% is what matters. And I love it. And I'm very happy with that. It's a great feeling to be able to disconnect in that way. And I wish that more of us could have that more often. But also, this is really important to me too. So I'm happy to be here right now. I'm happy that I just had an interpreting job. We got done early and I was like, yep, it's time. I kind of had a feeling that would happen. So I kind of knew that I was going to go live tonight. But I'm happy to be here. So I love seeing all the pictures. Thank you so much. And I'm also sharing a lot on the Lindsay Goodman, because if you're here, YouTube and Facebook, you might not know this, but on TikTok and Instagram, the Lindsay Goodman is now me. It's me having fun, traveling, healing, what I eat, where I sleep, all of that stuff. And on TikTok and Instagram, Lindsay Goodman Coaching is where I'm coaching now. So the Lindsay Goodman, if you want to follow me on my travels with my kiddo, we're having fun. But I'm not super active these days. But again, I don't want to totally disappear because this is all really important to me. So does anyone have any questions? Anything they want to talk about? Again, anything is fair game. I guess I'm going to post this on here. So if you are curious about the Hoovering Workshop, you can go to calendly.com, the Lindsay Goodman, to sign up. Space is going to be limited because it's just going to be myself. And I think Kat will help me if Kat's available. I can't remember if I actually asked you if you wanted to help me or not. But if Kat's available, Kat will be there to help me. But it's just going to be me. So spots are going to be limited for the workshop. So if this is something that you think might benefit you, or if you think that a friend of yours might benefit. If you've got a friend who is struggling, their abuser's still around, it could be a family member, it could be a parent, it could be a sibling, and you're like, this person just keeps, it's back and forth, it's around and around that cycle of abuse, because that's what happens with hoovering, right? You start to pull back, and all of a sudden you're back in it, and you're like, how did I get back here? Chutes and ladders. That's what I like to call it, chutes and ladders. So if you're shoots and laddering with someone, or you know someone who's shoots and laddering, send them to calendly.com/Lindsay Goodman. And yeah, I would love to have you all there. I know I've had a lot of people lately, like when I have gone live, asking me about hoovering, which is really what spurred me into motion, because I was like, I gotta make this hoovering workshop. But then having people ask about those things, I was like, yeah, it's time. So I'm really excited about it. You didn't, but I assumed. I'm so glad. See, that's the friendship that we have. You're just like, Lindsay's hosting something. I'm just going to write it down. She's going to forget to ask me. I'm just going to sign myself up. I love that. I'll put it on my calendar so I don't forget. Thank you. Let me see. What time is it? I can't remember, and I can never remember because of the time difference. Lindsay Goodman. The workshop is called the Breakup Emotional Trap. Hoovering Workshop. The Breakup Emotional Trap. How to combat hoovering. And it is going to be, what does it say? 1353. Oh man. Because it's 1353 right now. It is 1353 right now. Okay. 6 p.m. my time, which makes no sense. Does anyone know what time that will be on Pacific time? Anyway, it doesn't matter. The marketing materials will have probably Eastern time and Pacific time on it. Nobody cares that it's going to be at 6 p.m. in Spain. That doesn't matter. But yeah, it's going to be at, I think it's 9 a.m. Pacific time, noon Eastern time. And again, the reason why I chose that was because I know that a lot of people might be at home with their abuser on the weekend and might not be able to make it, who would otherwise want to come to the workshop. So there's that. We are the perfect pair, honestly. I can't wait until, I don't know, I'm saying this now. I really don't make money off of social media. But if I ever do, if I ever like actually have an income from this, if you don't know, my income comes from me being a sign language interpreter. But if I ever do make an income from this, I'm hiring you, Kat. And you're just going to be my everything. My side piece. I don't know why I said it like that. Oh, well. Deal. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay, well, no one is on Facebook or YouTube right now. It's really quiet. I never know, like, the times that I usually go live in the US, I'm sleeping. I'm sleeping at that time, so I can't do it. What time is it right now? 2 p.m.? Yeah. Hi, welcome in. How's it going? Side piece sounds like a mistress. That is kind of why I said it that way. I was trying to be weird. I'm finally getting my voice back. Oh, I got sick like 2 weeks ago. We got sick when we were in Belgium. And I really thought that it was going to be a quick one. We were going to nip it in the bud. And we did not. We did not. I lost my voice for a while, and I've had a cough for like 2 weeks. I love your channel. Thank you so much. Welcome in. We are talking about hoovering, or I've just been sitting here talking to myself because it is kind of quiet on here, and Kat's here with me. But I have a hoovering workshop coming up on June 6th. So I want to come on here and talk about that a little bit and invite you all to come if that's something that would benefit you, if you're stuck in the chutes and ladders of trying to get away from an abusive person. But thank you. Welcome in. Feel free to ask me anything. And if you're hanging out on TikTok, I know there's a couple little ghosts in here. As always, anything is fair game. I got to go. No, that's okay. I probably won't hang out too much longer. But over the next show for duties call, oh, have fun. Have fun. Over the next 2 weeks, because the workshop is 2 weeks from today, I will try to come on a little bit more. I will be making content about hoovering so that you can kind of have that fresh in your mind. And if that's something that sticks out to you and you're like, yeah, I am experiencing hoovering. How do I get better? How do I combat this? How do I get away from this freaking person who hoovers me every 3 days? Then you can come to the workshop. You'll be like, yep, I need this. That is for me. This is a sign from the universe. I'll be there. Kat, I love you. I will talk to you soon. Have fun. Be okay. Be okay. I like that. Be okay. My mom was an abuser to my family when I was younger. I'm so sorry. I always feel so much for the people who have abusive parents because you just were born into it. You're born into it. And it's very hard to get away when it's when it's family. Because we're taught that family is supposed to be a certain way. Hi, Kels, welcome in. Family is supposed to be safe. It's supposed to be your tribe. You're supposed to be comfortable, supported, all that stuff. And when you have a family that's not safe, it's very difficult. And of course, you have to heal from that. And how do you heal from something that's been happening since you were born? It's very difficult. So yeah, hang in there. Bless you. Oh, thank you. Bless you. Oh, I sneezed. I thought you were just blessing me. I was like, thank you. Bless you too. That's great. So I've been out of my sentence for about 7 months after 17-year sentence, but survivors make me strong. Well, welcome back to the world. I don't know what else. I don't know what else. Y'all are quiet. If y'all don't have a lot more questions here tonight, I will probably hop on here, off here, and either make some content, or work out. I haven't been able to work out for a while. I don't really. YouTube is a weird place. If y'all are watching me on YouTube, the comments I get on YouTube are so wild. Hello, I love it here. Every day after, it's a whole new adventure. I can't even imagine. Okay, I'm just gonna get my kid to sleep here soon. Yes, I'm so glad I caught you between sessions and was actually just replying to comments on your page that annoyed me. Oh, thank you. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, I just saw a comment and I was like, I feel like YouTube, a lot of the times the comments are the hardest to understand. TikTok, like when I get rude comments, like I get lovely comments everywhere and I get some rude comments everywhere. YouTube, I'm like, I really don't understand what you're saying here. And I'm not trying to be rude. I don't know what this is. I don't know what this means. So YouTube is a wild place for sure. Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that. Oh. I just realized what day it is. Tomorrow is the day that my dad passed away. 22 years ago. Just saw a picture of my dad. I open up my Facebook. So I have Facebook here. Some of y'all are here from Facebook, but I have like my original Facebook that I don't use. I don't let anyone follow me on it. There's like a couple family members on there. And I switch over there sometimes just like see what my sister's posting about her baby and stuff like that. May he rest in peace. Thank you. And there's a picture of my daddy from when he was in Vietnam. And yeah. "22 years. That's a really long time to not have a dad." Yeah. Okay, now I'm looking at a picture of my sister's baby. He's so cute. I'll have to read this in a little bit. This is a long one. So I'm going to not read it right now while I have y'all on with me. But how do you feel about yourself these days? Thank you for asking. That's something that's like really important to me because so you see it less on my abuse channels. I do make some content that's like, here's where I was, here's where I am now, because I think it's really important to show survivors that you can come out of this and you can get better and you can heal. You're not always going to be stuck in this place where you think that you're always going to be, because when you're in it, you think you're always going to be like that. How I feel about myself. What I was trying to say is that like on my other channels, I show a lot more of like where I am now. I've separated on TikTok and Instagram. I've separated my accounts because I just felt like I was stuck, and I always had these clashing feelings about like, should I make abuse content or should I talk about like what I did with my kid today? I didn't know what to do, and I separated it. For a long time, it made sense because it was like this trajectory of like, I'm healing. This is who I am while I'm healing, and this is my abuse, like knowledge and education for you, and what I've learned and my experience and all that stuff. And it's sort of forked. And so I'm still talking about abuse, and I probably will still be talking about abuse for a long time because I think it's really important. And I have a voice and I have a platform, and I want to be here for the community. But I also have so many other things I want to do. So that's separate. So you can see how I feel about myself and what I'm doing and my healing and like all that stuff on my other channels if you want to. No pressure. But I like myself so much more than I ever did. I cannot imagine feeling the way I felt when I was in an abusive relationship, or allowing someone to treat me the way I did, or like the way that when you're being abused, you feel like a piece of garbage, and you actually think that you're a piece of garbage because it feels like that person thinks you're a piece of garbage, like whatever they're doing, whenever, I don't care, whatever. You just feel like you're worthless, you're horrible. You don't value yourself, because how can you if someone can physically abuse you, emotionally abuse you, just be horrible. Oops, try that again. But I have put in so much work to heal my childhood trauma, to understand that that person, my abuser, and not in the sense of like, oh, I want to understand my abuser, but the way that abusive people work, the way their minds work, why they do those things. And that it's nothing to do with me. It's nothing to do with you. It's all about them, how they're raised and all that stuff. And so, yeah, I'm in a really good place right now. So thank you for asking. ¿Qué te pasa, mi amor? iPad's dead? My phone's about to die too. Okay, I'll be right in, okay? We should probably go to bed too, though. It's pretty late, huh? Yeah. I'm tired. I'm tired too. I'll be right in, okay? That is awesome to hear. Yes, thank you so much. I was going to leave yesterday, but I couldn't go through with it because I'm so scared. Thank you for sharing, and I'm so sorry. I know how hard it is. I've been there. Most of us who have made it out, we tried several times to leave. Some of us left and came back. I did. I've talked about that before. It's embarrassing. You're like, man, once you're out, you're like, how was it so, like, you kind of want to beat yourself up about it, but this is the way that it is. You're in a trauma bond. Emotional abuse it's an addiction. And also sometimes it's physically dangerous to get out. It's very scary. You don't know, even if it's not physically dangerous, you don't know what's out there. You've lived in this world. You've been trapped here for so long. A lot of times it's easier because you're like, well, I know that I'm walking on eggshells. I know that every day there's going to be some abuse, blah, blah, blah. But I don't know what's out there in the world for me. I don't know where I'm going to live. How am I going to make money? Am I going to be okay? Is anyone going to like me? Am I going to be alone forever? There's so many questions. So I just want you to know that that's normal. And I know that it's hard. I also know that you can do it. When the time is right, you'll know, or when it's not right, but you still have to go, because a lot of times it's not right. Like for me, the timing was not right, but I had to. Like the moment happened, it was horrible timing, but I had to go. So you'll know, and it will happen. And I believe that. I love watching you, Mother. Oh, thank you. Thank you. This week has been rough. We've been together for 26 days, and sometimes we're tired and sometimes we're grouchy. And when we're both that way, it can be hard, and I make mistakes. And I like to share that on my Instagram, on the Lindsay Goodman. I like to, not personal things, and I don't share every detail, and I don't show us arguing, or some people will videotape videotape. What am I, 36? Yeah, I don't know how old I am. I'm 30 something. But yeah, I just said that like it was 1990 and I was like videotaping you like, red lights on, come over. I got you getting this. Yeah, okay, everyone, open your Christmas presents. All right, that got weird. Love it. We all getting weird. But anyway, I like to be honest. I like to be real because yes, I'm on vacation with my son right now and I show a lot of really cool things that we're doing. I'm like, oh, we're on the beach. It's beautiful. But also, y'all, let's be real, okay? Hey, Nubby, you got your trucks? Do you want to go park them? Go line them up. Where should you line them up? On your side of the bed? Yeah. Okay, maybe you could make a monster truck arena on the sheets. Do not get any mud on the sheets because I know in the monster truck arena, very muddy and dirty. So make sure you don't get any on the not on the pillows, okay? Because I don't want to get dirt and sand in my eyes. They're not dirty. I'm just making it up. Okay. I was still friends with my abuser after we broke up. I thought I was just a bad person, not a victim. Thank you so much. You're welcome, Jennifer.
I'm going to use the keys to lock down.
Oh, good idea. Are you still friends? You said was, so I think not. It's very hard. So when I left my abuser, they claimed they still wanted to be friends and we should be friends and we should still live together and they still wanted to see my son. It's a very common thing for them to try to keep you around in some capacity and to try to be like, it can be different. They'll ghost you, they'll disappear because they have a new supply, or they'll try to keep you around just in case the new supply doesn't work out. And a lot of times it's like, we should still be friends. And they guilt you. We've been through so much. We've been together for so long. Why should we be enemies? And they want you to feel bad. Like you're immature. Like you can't handle, like, for example, I co-parent with my son's dad, who's not my abuser. We get along mostly. Sometimes we don't. Sometimes I'm like, frustrating, because we're two very different people. We're not married for a reason. But we get along very well. And I also can't imagine, like, even if we didn't have a kid, I feel like I would still check in with him sometimes because he's not an evil person. He's not a horrible person. Our marriage just didn't work out. We just should have never got married. But there are people, of course, you shouldn't have to be friends with everyone that you broke up with. You shouldn't have to stay friends with everyone who the friendship doesn't work out. I mean, you don't have to hate that person, but you don't have to talk to them all the time, right? And a lot of times with abusers, they like guilt you for not wanting to talk to them. And it's all just a tactic. Absolutely not. He's actually Satan. 100%. I've heard people say, like, before they left their abuser would be like, let me guess, you're going to block me on Instagram when you leave because you're so immature and you just have to block people because you can't handle, like, because our society has this weird thing about, like, if you block someone, it's the end of the world and they hate you and blah, blah, blah. And you're like, oh my God, they blocked me. What does that mean? Well, maybe it just means they need a break. That's an example of my growth that ties in with this. I don't know, maybe this doesn't matter, but there was a friend of mine. We followed each other on Instagram, kind of a connection. And she blocked me. And I went to check on her and I was like, oh, she blocked me. And I did send her a message and I was like, hey, I hope you're doing okay. She didn't respond. So I just respected that. And I was like, if I did something, she's working through it or she's not. And that is her, her prerogative to do that. It's not my job or I don't need to try to earn her love back or try to understand why. Was I confused? Yeah, I was. But eventually she messaged me and was like, hey, I'm really sorry I disappeared. I was working through X, Y, and Z, and I just needed some space from, whatever. And at the time I was like, dang, I'm really proud of myself that I didn't pursue, because old me would have been like, hey, what did I do? What did I do wrong? Because we just feel like we've been so trained that, again, we have to stay social media connected to people, because if we don't, we're immature. And if someone blocks us, we did something wrong. And maybe we did, but maybe it's also okay that person needs space from us, right? And so I'm really proud of you for finally, however long it took you, that's fine, being like, no, I'm not going to be friends with you. And, realizing that we're allowed to set boundaries and nobody should be guilting us for whatever that boundary is. Dime.
So I moved ice Two of our magnets.
How about these
You can knock
as
over.
bumpers? And you could like bump over them.
Boy,
Yeah. I think that's a good idea. I think you'll have fun with that one.
you can knock it over.
Thank you for sharing. Thanks for listening. I know that was like slightly like a little twist and turn there. But I do think that that's like, yeah, it's like a huge testament to my growth and hopefully relatable to all of you. Kat, you're back. Because yeah, we're so trained to not have boundaries and to like be offended by other people's boundaries. And to not want to be alone. And so for me, like, no, it's not like, oh, I have to be all alone now because I have to be so good, like being all alone and just isolated. That's not the best either. Although it's okay to like temporarily isolate if you need to. Don't come on the screen, buddy. I'm hiding you. Want your cars? Oh, these could be things that you could crush. You know the cars that they have on the monster truck rally? They could crush these cars. But learning to be okay with like not being chosen, because so many of us have that abandonment wound and we want to be chosen. Even if it's someone that we really don't care to be chosen by, and being able to be like, it's okay if that person doesn't want to be my best friend or doesn't want to be like, yeah, sometimes it hurts more than others, but learning to be okay with that and being okay with yourself, like being comfortable with yourself, and being secure in who you are as a person and knowing that not everyone is going to always want to be with you and you don't have to always want to be with someone. Do you want to put on your water bottle?
Or did I say if I like pitted it like
On my laptop? Vale.
Would you like it?
Sure.
Then the laptop would look so cool.
We're getting a Hot Wheels sticker on my laptop, everybody.
It's gonna look so cool.
I bet it is. I can't wait to look at it. I'm going to log off here in just a second. I'll take a look at it, okay? All right. I'm going to go ahead and pop off. Once again, I am a certified trauma recovery coach. If you're new here, I offer one-on-one coaching. I have 30-minute, 60-minute sessions, and I have a 6-week package. If you want to really dig deep and get away from your abuser, hopefully once and for all, if you want to really dig deep and maybe you're already out, but you have some healing to do, you want to figure out who you are. One of my favorite things to work with clients is like, obviously I love working with people, getting them out of those situations. But like when you're out and you're like, well, who am I? And figuring out what your passions are and all that stuff. That's one of my favorite things to do with people. So if you want to work with me, thelindsaygoodman.com, calendly.com/thelindsaygoodman. If you like straight want a book. Oh my gosh. Do you have the car stickers? I think one of them, you got a sticker.
Yeah, but I think they're all the same. Yeah.
Where is it?
I got some Hollywood ones that don't go on this, but I did get one that goes.
Here it is.
This is one.
You're right. These ones you just got Hot Wheel logos. So anyway, there's that. Calendly.com, the Lindsay Goodman, and you can also sign up for the Hoovering Workshop there.
Also look at the cars you don't have.
You're right. And you can make a list and then maybe we can get some more mystery models. And again, spots are limited for the Hoovering Workshop because it's just me and Kat will be helping me. So please do check that out. Sign up for that. I will also keep you guys updated. Like if spots are, running thin, I'll let you know.
What's your sweater went next?
Let me see. Bad to the Blade.
Bad to the Blade?
Which one do you have? All right, y'all. Thank you so much for hanging out. I will be back again soon. Take care of yourselves and go drink some water. Also, new podcast episode out tomorrow, so check that out. I don't know what it's about, so good luck with that. We'll see. Bye, y'all.
What's this one called?
Let me see.
What's this one called?
Faradox.
This one's called Faradox.
Okay, I'm trying to end this.
Faradox.
Faradox. That's a cool word. Okay, bye.